Hey guys, look, I'm gonna create a quick recording to get everyone at least an opportunity to get started on this circular Greek temple. Now, I know some students have already completed this. I'm mainly targeting any students that have not started this drawing, and this assignment is a assessment grade at some point. So I want to get everyone started. Best way to do that is to create a brief video so that you guys can kind of follow along at home. So, what I'm going to do first is this what you're looking at is I had previously started this drawing, but I'm going to go back and start right from home, the home page. So if I click the bars, the three line bars up at the left hand corner of my drawing site, I can click on that, click home, okay, and it's going to take me back to my original home base. Once there, where it says create new, I want you to hit the drop down box. And in that drop down box, I want you to hit architectural feet and inches. Architectural feet and inches. Just click on that and give it an opportunity to bring up the drawing space. Okay. So we're going to bring that drawing space up. This is what we got right here so far. Okay. So to get started on this drawing, and I'm going to give it to, I'm going to, all the dimensions I'm going to place in inches so that everyone will have an opportunity to kind of get this. I know some of the Chromebooks, they don't, the foot mark doesn't work. So I'm going to do this in inches. So first I'm going to go over to my left hand side and you see all the icons based on the left hand side. One, if you hover over it, you may see a rectangle, you may see it as a circle. But anyway, click on that and you're going to see several more icons jump out at you. Well, what I want you to do is hover over there until you see circle. And I want you to click on circle. One click and don't click anymore. Just one click. Okay. And then I want you to bring your circle over to the drawing space, just as you see me doing. I'm just kind of dragging, no clicking until I tell you to click, okay? So I'm going to do one click here, one click, and I'm going to drag that circle open. As I'm dragging that circle open, I'm going to put, I'm going to place 240, 240, enter. That's 240, enter. And you should have a shape that looks very much like this one here. Okay? It'll look just like this. Okay? It should be gray, kind of huge. Okay? So I'm going to go back over and I'm going to grab what is called a move tool. And it's located right in this area where you see my cursor going right here. I'm going to click right on the move tool. It's this little cross, red cross like icon. I'm going to bring that over to the circle. See how the circle kind of changes and all of a sudden it gets a dotted, kind of dotted. That means that I'm selecting that circle. And I'm going to click on this circle and I'm just going to move that circle right between the red and green lines in that space right there. So I'm just going to click one time and then my circle is right there. I'm good. If you want to, if you want to look down here and find an icon that you can use to, to kind of pull it over a little bit, I'll use this right here and kind of pull it over to me a little bit. But, I can zoom it back and forth as well. Okay. So we're gonna kind of use this shape for the time being. Okay, so we're gonna make that work. Okay, guys, so we have our shape here, and you can see everything. And make sure you're working between. I'm gonna change that. Make sure you're working between the green and red lines. That your shape is within these two lines. Okay, you should be working in this green space right here. Okay, so I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna get what is called my push pull tool. I'm gonna click on that, Make sure you have that tool. Come over top of the circle once again. Going to click on that, okay? And I'm going to start pushing up. Make sure you're pulling up. And I want you to put in 1, 2, enter. That's 12, enter. Okay? I'm going to go back to where I got the push pull tool. I'm going to click one more time on that. I'm going to bring out these icons and I'm going to go down to the bottom one that says offset. I'm going to click on offset. I'm going to come back to the circle. See this little red part that's kind of going around the line like that? That's good. Keep it on that line, but go bring your cursor to the middle of the circle. So I have my cursor at the middle of the circle. I'm going to click one time and drag out. See how as I'm dragging out, that circle right there is there? Okay, so what I would like for you to do is I'd like for you to put 1, 2, 1, 2, enter. And you should have what I have right here, like a little ridge going around. Okay, we're going to go back. We're going to get the push pull tool again. Okay, get this tool one more time. And I'm going to click right on top again. Okay, start pulling up again and put in 1, 2, enter, 12, enter. And you should have a base that looks like this. Okay, and I'm going to go over here and I'm just going to click on the arrow here just so I'll have an arrow instead of any of these other icons. So what you're looking at right now is your base, and that's where I want everyone to be at the moment. Okay, so the best thing to do at this moment, if you press down and hold the center circle on the mouse, you can rotate your drawing like this. And what the way that I want you to rotate it is, let me get some of this. The way I want you to rotate it is so that the red line is up under your drawing. And I want you to try to rotate it so that the red line is as straight across as possible. See how my red line straight across? I want your drawing to look like this. Okay? So I'm just going to rotate it a little bit more so it looks like that there. Okay? And I did that by pressing down on the mid circle on the mouse, the little circle on the mouse. I pressed down and I held it down and rotated. Now you can also use the rotator tool right here if you like. If you use this rotator tool, then guess what? You can click on that and you can just use your left clicker and you can still rotate this back and forth the same way. It's easier to use the center circle on the mouse, but whichever one you need to use, that's okay with me. You can use either one you want. But I want your shape to look just like that for now. Okay? So let's get that done. Okay, guys, so once your shape looks like that, it's facing you like that. Make sure this red line here is straight across, not crooked. That's important, and you'll see as we go along. Try to make sure everything is pretty straight. I'm just going to do it a little bit there, and everything should be pretty straight. I want you to come over, and there's a tool here. It's called a tape measure tool, and I'm going to click on that and you see all these icons jump out. But the one at the top is the one I want, the tape measure tool. And I'm going to bring that tape measure tool and kind of follow, no clicking. Remember, we're just dragging, no clicking. See that center point? If I drag along this line, it'll give me that center point. And what I want to do is I'm going to go down, just still dragging down until I reach that center point right there. Okay? Now I'm going to click one time. Click, and I'm going to drag that line outside the drawing till about right here. Just a little ways outside the drawing, I'm going to click again. See how you get a dotted construction line? Okay, that's what you need to have. I'm going to go back to this center again. I'm going to click one more time. This time, drag it straight. Keep it straight. And I'm going to drag it down outside the drawing. I'm going to click one more time. So what we actually doing is kind of dividing this up into like a pie. Okay, 4 slices. And I'm going to click one more time at the center, one time. I'm going to drag that line out. Okay, and I'm going to click right there. Okay, and then I'm going to go back one more time, and I'm going to click here, and I'm going to drag that line straight on out on the other side of the drawing, and I'm going to click there. And what you should end up with is 4 lines, okay? 4 complete lines out, and dotted lines called construction lines, guidelines, whatever you want to call them. And this is what your drawing should look like. So I'm going to go back over here, guys, where I see still have like the circle icon, but I want to click on that because I want the rectangle. I want that rectangle. I'm going to click on that rectangle. I'm going to bring that rectangle right to this corner. Okay, just bring it right here. I'm going to click one time, and I'm going to start dragging. Don't click again, just click one time. I'm going to start dragging, and this time i'm going to i'm going to put I'm going to place 36 comma 36, enter. Okay, remember guys, 36 comma 36, enter. That's 36 inches, comma, 36 inches, enter. Okay? But all you need to put in is 36, comma, 36, and then hit the enter, and you'll see you have a box like this. Don't do any more clicking. That's all you need right there. We're going to go over here. I'm going to select this arrow just to get everything off. And you see my cursor now becomes the arrow. That's what you should have. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this box, just a little bit. And what I'm going to ask you guys to do is select this box right here. Just select it. It turns blue when you select it. Okay? Then once you select that box, I want you to get your move tool. Come over here, that little cross, red cross type icon, and bring it right to the box. You can open it up a little bit. Bring it to the box. Click one time, and then you can drag that box right to the line. Bring it down some, not all the way to the bottom. I don't want it at the complete bottom, but I want you to just kind of drag it to this point here. Okay? And see how I have my move tool right on the line? I'm keeping it right on the line as even as possible. Okay? And then I'm going to click that box right there. Okay? So I want you guys to do that. Now, in the instructions, I'm going to go back to my line tools. I'm just going to go back. I'm going to click on this arrow, and I'm going to click right here in the green spot. And you can see how that changes the box from blue to just, sort of a black and white drawing type. Okay. But still, I want you to pay attention to that box. I'm going to go over here and get my tape measure again. And I'm going to come here. I'm going to do that in. I'm going to click and see how that line goes through there like that. And I'm going to do the same thing with this end. Click one time on that end. Click right here. Okay. Now I did that because I wanted to see if my box was even to the center line. It's not quite even. It's a little bit off. I could actually move that a little bit to the left. No, I'm sorry. I could move that to the right a little bit. If I wanted to do that, the way that I would do that, I would go back, get my arrow tool again. I would select that box again. It turns blue. I would get my move tool again, and then I could just kind of move it a little bit. Doesn't have to be much. Can move it to the right just a little bit. Don't want to move it that much. I'm going to leave it right there. Okay. I'm going to get my eraser tool, this little eraser tool, and I just want to erase this line here. I'm going to erase that line there. Okay. And my box should be a little bit more even there. So I'm good. And if you got this right here, you can stay right there. It's not important that it's perfect. Doesn't have to be perfect. Go back and get your arrow tool again. Okay. So what we're gonna do this time is I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. I'm gonna kind of bring this over so you can see it. I'm gonna get this little pan tool. I'm gonna bring it over so we can see it real good. So what we have, I'm gonna go back and get my arrow tool again. So what we have right now is that box there, and that's great. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna hold down the middle circle on my mouse, and I'm gonna kind of rotate this back to the 3D position where I can see it. I can see what my box looks like, and I can actually zoom in on it. Okay, if I use the circle in the middle and just roll it in and out, I can zoom in. Now, some Chromebooks will not let you zoom in and out with the middle circle. You'll actually have to come over here, get the zoom tool, and hold down the left click and just kind of move it and drag it back and forth to zoom in and out. That's some Chromebooks work like that, uh, and I don't ask me why. I don't know why that is, but that's the way they work. Okay, so if you can look at your box like this, what I'd like for you to do right now is go to your push pull tool, click on it, okay? Come back to the box, just the box. Please don't have this whole space here with the little blue dots. Don't click on that. You want to, the only thing that should have blue dots is the box, okay? Click on that one time and start bringing it up. When you're bringing it up, I want you to put in 12, 1, 2, enter. There's 12, enter. I'm sorry, 12, enter. Okay, there you are. And that's what you should have at the moment. So, guys, there's a lot of things to be done with this one box. Okay, we're going to do a lot of things to this box. So, first of all, we're going to go back to where you see the rectangle icon, and I want you to click on the rectangle icon. And down at the bottom, at the bottom, you see the icon looks like an A. That's for text, 3D text. I want to click on that. And when you click on that, when your window opens up, you may see this text extrusion. You may see that selected as well. I don't want that selected. I want that deselect. So deselect that. Make sure that's no check in there. Okay. And you should have 6 inches, or you can just put 6 into where it says height. And then I want you to type in your name, guys. Your last name. I'm going to type in my last name, Sims, and then I'm going to hit OK. And you see how it pops up like that? And I want you to put that name right on this part of the box. I want that name right there. And when you get it there, then click one time, okay? And you can click your name right there. I want you to come over and click the arrow tool, okay? Once you have the arrow tool, just click in this green space right here, okay? Click right here in the green space, and you can see the name, the blue goes away, okay? So your name is on the box. So far, you've done that. That's good. So I want you to leave that like that. I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit. I'm going to kind of hit my pan tool. This is called a pan tool. I'm going to click on that. That way I can just left click down and I can bring this over so you can actually see it more. So what we're going to do now quickly is we're going to work on the top of this box. So I'm going to go get over where the push pull tool is. I'm going to click on that, but this time I'm going to get that offset tool again. Okay. And I'm going to click on that offset tool, and I'm going to come to the top of that box. See how that little red um, icon is like on the edge line? Okay, that's good. You want it to stay on the edge line. And I'm going to click right in the middle of this box and start dragging. Okay. Until I see that box dragging out like that. Once that box is dragging out like that, I want to put 2, enter. Okay? And you should see an edge around the box that looks like that. Okay? You'll see an edge. If you did 2, enter, you'll see an edge. If you make any mistakes, guys, you can always hit the back undo button up here and go back and redo using the same instructions on the video. Just stop the video, rewind or whatever, and go back and do that again if you have to. So I'm gonna go back, same place, get my push pull tool this time. Okay, I'm gonna get the push pull tool, come back over top of the box. Okay, so I'm gonna have to do that again because I see I'm gonna have to bring this down. I'm gonna have to click outside here. I'm gonna get, didn't mean to do that, guys. I'm gonna hit this undo. Okay, take me back. And what I'm gonna do is hit this arrow, and that clears everything. For some reason, sometimes it doesn't clear. When you click on the arrow, that clears everything. Okay, so that way you're not really carrying. Sometimes I just click in the green space, doesn't do any harm. So I'm gonna go back down, get my push pull tool again. Okay, and I'm gonna come to the top of the box. Remember, not here. You don't want the blue dotted area there. You want it right on the top of the box. And I'm gonna click one time on the top of the box, and I'm gonna begin. Sorry, guys. Again, gotta escape on this. Ah, just have some problems sometimes. Sorry about that, guys. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to undo that. Go back to my box. It takes away my text name, so now I have to kind of redo my text name. I think I'm pretty sure. Let me try this again. No, just hit the forward button. One is undo, one is redo. So just hit the forward button. You get your name back again. Let me see if I can hit the forward button and get my yes. So I have my area here where there's my offset there, and now I want to click on that, and I'm just going to push down a little bit. As I'm pushing down, I'm going to put in, I want to put 6, enter. Okay, so my box should have an opening in there. I'm going to go back and click my arrow tool just to make sure I've clicked that off. You should have something that looks like this here. Okay, and you should be able to see inside that box. Okay, and I think I'm okay. I said 6. This was 12, right? Okay, so 6 is great. Okay, so this is what you have. If you don't have that, go back, look at my instructions, go over the instructions again, but this is what you should be looking at. And I'm gonna kind of well, we've gotten to this part, so at this point, I'm going to kind of end the video like right here because I know you guys, if you're struggling with this, I want to make sure you get this part so far. If you need help, then you can ask me in the classroom, but try to follow this video. If you made some mistakes, go back, look at the video, start again. Okay? So I'm going to end it in this video